All right. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here this evening, folks. This is Good Evening Portugal. Well, Good Morning Portugal in the evening, and it's our World Cup update. Are you feeling like this at the moment? Has somebody whispered in your ear? It may not be that lady on the right. It could be the BBC or TalkSport or whichever channel you're watching, telling you that the World Cup starts on Sunday. That'll be tomorrow, of course. And is your skin going goosebumpy? Let's find out. I think I know one gentleman whose skin is going a bit goosebumpy. How about you, Michael?
Mate, I feel like a kid the night before Christmas. I'm not going to lie. I am buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. Got a month of football to look forward to.
A month of football. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what it means, isn't it? So for those who love it, a great month of football. For those who loathe it, it's going to be, well, we might be, yes, we might be able to help you as well with some alternatives as to what you might do to pass that month by. But if you're in Portugal, you're not going to be able to escape it very easily, are you, Michael?
No. Thursday, the 21st of November at 4 p.m, Portugal are playing. So if you don't want to be anywhere near a bar at that time, stay at home.
Can you give us that date again, please?
21st of November.
Okay, so Monday?
Thursday.
Hold on a minute. 21st. I've got the 19th today, 20th tomorrow, 21st on Monday.
Oh, 23rd then. Sorry, yeah, 23rd. It's definitely next Thursday. Sorry, my apologies. 23rd.
Okay.
we can't be giving people false info.
Yes. We will confirm that for you because we'll have a look at all the fixtures. And of course, I'm just writing a little banner now. Sweepstake draw. This was your idea, Michael, and it's been a good one because I think this is helping with the excitement, isn't it? Inspired idea. Thank you very much for that.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
All right, and that will be at 9:30. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Let me tell you a little bit about that now, because we have obviously 32 teams. That was another bit of misinformation we were spreading.
Yeah, I do apologise. I gave the double the amount of teams there are. So yeah, I said 64, but it's actually 32. So it's eight groups, A to H of 4 teams that play each other once, and then it goes to round of 16, quarterfinal, semi. Third and fourth playoff, and then the final being on the 18th of December.
Superb. 18th of December. Isn't that amazing? So you are like a kid for Christmas, aren't you?
Literally, yeah, literally. It's just so weird to be about to watch a World Cup at this time of year, but I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of excited about it. I think, with Christmas as well, I think it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, I don't see the timing of it being a bad thing at all.
All right, we're with you here until around 10. Mrs. M will be joining us as a kind of independent adjudicator. She'll be in another room with the folded up pieces of paper. I have them all here, and I'm going to fold them one by one in this bowl. That's the 32 teams, okay, Michael?
Probably the most credible draw that FIFA has ever been involved in.
So you've got between now and...
Too soon.
Soon, mate. But to be fair, you have got between now and 9:30 to pop round with a brown envelope.
Fantastic.
No, only kidding, FIFA. And so we've got the 32 teams in this bowl, and I have 29 names so far. We can't go ahead unless we get another 3 names, or if somebody already in the sweepstake doubles up. Okay.
So basically, if anyone's watching now and wants to participate, what do they have to do, Carl? They just have to WhatsApp you their name and number. And
just say. I mean, if we know them, we can hook up with them on WhatsApp. It's not a big deal. And our WhatsApp number. I'm sure I've got a banner for that somewhere here, which I can share on the screen. Yes, that would be quite helpful, wouldn't it, for people to have the number? There you go. Have a view. Call in on WhatsApp. Yeah, if you've got a view on the World Cup and Portugal's chances or your own country's chances, send me a message 913-590-303. You can use that for the sweepstake as well if you want to be involved with that. But we are, to do a successful draw, we are going to need 32 names in the bowl. even if some people double up or treble up. I think we should limit it at 3. Otherwise, everyone else is going to get peed off with that, aren't they? But you can gift a sweepstake place for somebody else as well if you'd like to do that. Tell me if the rock music in the background is too annoying. It just feels right to hear it, Michael.
Definitely, no, it feels good. It feels good, mate. It feels good. I'm buzzing. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm invested.
Let's leave that running in the background then and talk a little bit about the runners and riders. Why don't I go through the teams one by one and you just say a little bit about them? Other people can as well.
Yeah.
And Nubianet said, Nubianet, do you want to join us? Let me know. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but if anybody does want to join us, we've got 3 more names to put into the cup. This cup, not the World Cup. We will... What's this? It's like watching grass grow. How very dare you!
I love it, mate. You know, when you get people trolling you, I think that's a sign that you're making it. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, keep it coming, Lloyd. See you tomorrow, mate. Hello from Nubianet as well, and evening, gents, ladies, Mrs. M. Very nice, thank you, Owen. You're in the draw already, of course. And Nubianet saying, "Hey, Owen," and nice one, Michael, as well. Well played, sir. Whatever it was you said, nice one, Michael. So we know there are more people watching than those who've commented so far. If you're a lurker, tonight might be the night to grab a beer, kick back, and speak your mind. Have a couple of beers, talk about football at least. You don't have to talk about Portugal or your migration plans. We're taking it easy tonight ahead of the opening ceremony tomorrow. What do you think we're going to see at the opening ceremony? I'm hoping for a bit of education about Qatar, Michael. Are you?
Well, I mean, it depends what the Qataris want to show us, right? I mean, is David Beckham going to be there? I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's always an interesting one. I always feel like the opening ceremony is a little bit, I don't know, it just feels like, as a football fan, we're just thinking, let's just start the opening game. Like, we don't really care about a little bit. It's not like, you know, with the Olympics, it's like a separate event. It's like this big thing, and like it's a huge thing. And, you know, I'm presuming it will be exciting to see it. But yeah, I'm just more excited about the first game, 4 o'clock tomorrow, which is Qatar, Ecuador, I believe.
Yes.
Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, we've got it on the screen there. 18 hours, 51 minutes away. How can you say it's like grass growing? Honestly, Lloyd, Qatar versus Ecuador, 4 o'clock. I'm not a big football fan, but there's something about the World Cup, isn't there? Don't you think, Michael, that draws people in, even if they're not football fans? It's like a royal wedding.
And it's always exciting now because previously the previous winner would be the opening game, but now it's always the hosts. And no one really, the interesting thing is we've been talking about Qatar as hosts all this time, but no one's really spoken about Qatar as a football team. And I think there's going to be intrigue to see how they actually perform. And I'm very intrigued to see because I've heard rumors that the Qataris have been, let's just say, creative with certain footballers getting citizenship to be Qatari that may not originally be from Qatar.
Tell me it's not true.
Yeah, it's interesting because my physio, shout out to Carlos Lima. He's the physio. He used to be the physio of the Portuguese futsal national team. So he's won like European Championship, World Championship. Yeah. And basically, he was telling me that the Russian national team for futsal have a few Brazilians that play for them who they've kind of given citizenship to under slightly suspicious circumstances, shall we say. However, the interesting thing about Qatar is they did win the under-19s Asian Cup. So that shows that their youth team from a few years ago are the best team in Asia. So the question is, are they good enough to beat the 4th best team in South America? Because Ecuador finished 4th in the South American qualifying group this time round. So I'm intrigued. I'm going to watch it, and I'm urging them to watch it just because it's just an unknown quantity. Like, we have no idea how Qatar are going to play. They've played 9 friendlies. The team has rested. Obviously, the Qataris, it's not just about them putting on a good show for the world. They don't want their team to embarrass themselves on the world stage. They're going to want them to play okay. I mean, I would have thought that it'll be Senegal and Netherlands that will go through that group. I can't see Qatar or Ecuador going through, but you never know. Stranger things have happened in football. Let's see what happens. It'll be interesting. Remember when South Korea and Japan hosted the World Cup in 2002, South Korea got to the semi-final. So You never know. We'll see.
You never know, and that's all part of the excitement. If you can find that in yourself, Lloyd. And we're into predictions tonight as well, so do share those with us. This was posted up on our Twitter feed. We do have a panel over at the World Cup 22 tab on our website at goodmorningportugal.com. We have Michael here, of course. Owen's in the punditry squad, as is Frank and Francis, and myself, who knows the least about football of all of us, but somebody's got to be in goal, haven't they, between the two jumpers? And that'll be me. This is Ronald de Boer, who apparently, I don't even know who he is, Michael. Can you help
Dutch
out?
Footballer. Yeah, he's a Dutch footballer. Yeah, quite a good one. Quite a good one from the past. Yeah, he's now retired. He's been retired a long time. But yeah, he played for Barcelona. Looking at that now, I mean, I think he's underestimating Argentina a little bit there. I think because he's got the Netherlands to beat Argentina in the quarters. I think.
Yeah.
Portugal, Brazil. I mean, Portugal are a strong side. Whether they can beat France, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's not completely ridiculous that prediction that he's done there. But I would say I don't think Portugal will get to the final. I think Brazil might.
Yes.
I think it'll probably be Brazil-France. That'll be my prediction for the final. But I think the semi-final will be Argentina-Brazil, and that'll be
that's worth watching, isn't it? That's worth watching.
Yeah.
Any of those permutations there. Thank you, Anna, as well, for your predictions. Anna says Portugal 4, Ghana 1, Portugal 2, Uruguay 0, and Portugal 3, South Korea 1 in the group that Portugal are in, that we'll put back on the screen in a little while. And for England, she's following England and then Portugal, I think, in that order. England 2, Iran 1, England 3, USA 2, and England 1, Wales 0. That's going to be great fun, isn't it, watching the England and Wales match? So it's possible in that group, with the way things work, that England and Wales could go through. Is it 2 going through from each group, as we see on the screen?
Yeah, it's 2 go through. Exactly. It's 2 go through. It's 2 go through. Yeah.
So that'll be fun if the 2 home nations for us British people go through together. And there's a good chance of that, I think, isn't there?
I would imagine. I mean, the US have got a pretty decent side. Iran I know very little about, I'll be completely honest. I haven't seen Iran play football this year. But, what you've got to remember is, and this is what's so special about the World Cup, is that with international football, you're talking about the best 11 players from a country, right? So the standard is always going to be high, especially in a World Cup. You'll have teams that will get rolled over more easily. I mean, remember when we were watching the World Cup together back in 2018 when England beat Panama, I think, was it 6-1 or 7-1 or something like that? I think we saw that game together. So you're going to have teams that are a lot weaker than the rest. But until that first ball's kicked off, I mean, that's the beauty of it. Right now, everyone's got the hope. Even someone from Iran will be thinking, well, we could draw the first game, and then anything can happen. That's the thing about the group stage, is what you don't want to do is lose the first game. If you lose the first game, you're bang in trouble. So you want to at least draw or win and keep the options open. Ideally, you want to win. If you lose the first game, then it's really hard because only the top 2 go through.
Okay.
So who knows?
The comments shared are those of the people sharing them, not necessarily our views. We should make it clear. Owen's enjoying himself tonight. FIFA president defends Qatar World Cup in tracksuit stuff with cash in front. I mean, did you see this speech, Michael? Have you heard about it?
I mean, I saw the guy making the comment about because he was ginger, he can identify people that have been. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did say this to my friends. To be fair, ginger people do get a hard time in the UK. I do think ginger people do get a hard time.
But and apparently
in
Italy,
it was ridiculous.
Apparently in Italy as well, right? So there we go. He said it was hypocrisy to criticise the Qatari regime in between bouts of coughing up $100 bills like verbal. And he did say, didn't he? Yeah. Today I feel like I'm gay. Today I feel like I'm a construction worker, a poorly paid one at that, probably. Today I feel like an Arab, and etc., just to show solidarity with the people who have perhaps been marginalised a little bit by this World Cup. I mean, it was quite an interesting tactic. You give him that. Non de Plume is here as well. Now, before Paul very kindly takes these 3 pieces of paper to top up the numbers to 32, because he's happy to give all 320 euros to the Bomberos. And that's how it's going to work, okay? What I've decided to do, which I thought would be fair, would be to, of there's 32 teams, it's a 10 euro contribution into the sweepstake. 160 of it, I think, could go to somebody who might use that at the moment. We've got a cost of living crisis going on. We're not encouraging people to gamble €10 to make 160. However, that could make quite a difference to someone who's in a little bit of trouble at the moment. And of course, the other 160 going to a charity that we will choose during the course of the tournament, or the choice of the winner, which is what Paul's doing here. If he scoops that 320, he's going to give it all to the Bombeiros. And you can do that as well. Whoever wins can do that. Mark's just joined us. He's also in the sweepstake.
Hello, mate.
Before Paul takes 4 of the tickets to increase the chances of the Bombeiros getting €320, does anybody else want to do that? You've got about 10 minutes to do that, okay? Otherwise, Paul, we'll go to you, and thank you very much for that kind offer. But let's give others a chance to join in as well, notwithstanding your wonderful offer there to put €40 in and to give 320 potentially to the Bombeiros. So thank you, Paul. Paul, who do you want to represent you in this sweepstake? You could perhaps let us know that. I can't guarantee anything. We're going to go through them now as I fold each of them up and put them in the bowl. So let's do them one at a time. I think this is working backwards from the group stages. Korean Republic, is there anything you want to say about them as I fold the piece of paper up, Michael?
South Korea, well, I mean, they've historically had a good team. They had this, in fact, I remember seeing them in USA 94. They had this player called Hwang Myung-bo who scored this amazing goal against Germany. They lost like 3-1. So you've got a number of good players. You've got Son, who plays for Tottenham. Yep. He's a really world-class striker, I think massively underrated. He's kind of like the David Beckham of South Korea. Like, he's the most famous person there. He's really loved there. So, they've got a superstar. So anything can happen with them.
Brilliant. What about Uruguay, sir?
Uruguay, so you've got Luis Suarez and Edson Cavani, who are the 2 old kind of like seasoned strikers. But then you've also got the lad who was at Benfica, who's now at Liverpool, who recently signed for Liverpool, who's kind of like the how can I explain it? He's like the wild card in the sense that you never really know what you're gonna get from him. He's like a brilliant striker, but he can sometimes be a little bit unpredictable with his play. So Uruguay going forward, massively strong. In defence, I question whether how good they are defensively.
Yeah, so I've put you on the spot tonight, and we're not wearing matching shirts on purpose. It's not the squad colours or anything, is it? We both just have blue shirts on this evening. And thank you for letting me put you on the spot like this. Ghana, you don't have to say a lot. It's up to you.
Yeah, I won't say a lot. I mean, they're probably one of the weaker of the African teams, but again, given the climate and how hot it's going to be, I know that sounds like such a cliche. I think it's going to the conditions are going to favour African and South American teams because they're going to be more used to playing in the heat and the humidity.
Okay, very good. And of course, Portugal are the number 1 position in Group H.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, so many good players still. Obviously, all the focus will be on Ronaldo because he's the superstar, but you've got a number of really good players in that squad. Play for Liverpool, play for Manchester City, other top clubs in Portugal and in Europe. So they're a strong team, and it's Ronaldo's last chance to win a World Cup. So he'll be bang up for it, I think.
Okay, mate. Cameroon.
See, again, another of these African teams that bit of an unknown quantity, have some good players in Europe. But again, because of the weather, I think, I wouldn't write them off.
Okay, next team, Switzerland, to go into the pot.
Yeah, Switzerland, again, they've it's an interesting one. It's a country that historically, football hasn't always been the number 1 sport. They tend to be more, into their skiing and winter sports. But since the mid-90s, when Roy Hodgson was managing them and they got to USA 94, it's kind of become a lot more the popular sport in Switzerland. Everyone goes crazy for the Swiss team. Yeah. So again, I couldn't say much about them because I don't know a lot about them. But they're a team that have historically done okay.
Yes, they're not an embarrassment, are they, to their nation?
No.
Okay. Serbia, are they still the hard men?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know much about Serbia, to be honest.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. Other people can contribute as well, but they have a sort of reputation for being tough guys and tough on the pitch, right? Hard men of the game. Brazil. I mean, presumably you've got a view about Brazil. You might see them in the final.
Yeah, I think they're one of the favourites. I think they're one of the clear favourites. They've got arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. They've got an incredible defence. They haven't lost. I think they've been unbeaten in their last 25 games, something like that. So they're on massive form, and they're a clear favourite in my view. Clear favourite.
And they were topping Group G only by number because no games have been
in
played.
Alphabetical order. Exactly, it's just alphabetical order. Yeah.
And we're starting at the bottom of Group F now with Croatia. Anything notable, or should I just?
Yeah. So runners up.
Let me know.
Runners up in 2018, they've got arguably one of the best midfielders in the world in Luka Modric, who plays for Real Madrid. Very good side, very well drilled. I don't think they'll go as far as they did in 2018, but they're a team that are unpredictable, and I think they're gonna probably finish in that group second after Belgium, I would say.
Okay, and Morocco next.
Yeah, Morocco. See, it's Morocco, another interesting one. I think with these African countries in the Maghreb, they tend to. The problem with those countries is that often the best players tend to end up playing for France because a lot of with the nationality connection. Yeah. So for example, Zidane was originally, I think, from Tunisia. So it can be a bit of an issue if they kind of lose some of their talent. Because there's just so much of a strong connection with France. But again, because of the weather, you never know. That's the thing. It's just, if they stay in a game with a European side and it gets to 60, 70 minutes and it's 0-0, then their fitness could get them through it. That's the thing with the African teams. Yeah.
In the hot weather, Frank's home country, mother country.
Canada. Yeah, no chance. No chance.
We'll put them in the pot. Okay. Yeah. Simple as. Belgium then finishing group
F. I mean, do you know what? Belgium is always one I feel really frustrated about, because on paper they've had such a good team for a number of years and they just haven't quite delivered. So I feel like this is their last chance to prove that they've got a world-class team, because on paper they have some amazing players like Kevin De Bruyne, who plays for Manchester City, Lukaku, who had to go back to Inter Milan, but he's been playing a bit better recently. So they've got Hazard, who's been on the bench for Real Madrid for the last 3 years, but was amazing when he was at Chelsea. So they've got a lot of good players, but I think probably I don't think if they get out of that group, they're not going to get past the quarterfinals. I wouldn't have thought.
Interesting. Okay, so we're going to look at the Group E now, which has Costa Rica, Japan, Germany, and Spain. And let's start with Costa Rica.
No idea, mate. No idea. But again, Caribbean side, used to the warm weather. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Germany are strong contenders, aren't they? Always are.
Well, someone once said football's a game of 11 against 11, and the Germans always win. So never ever write the Germans off.
Who said that?
I can't remember who said it. Probably Alf Ramsey, I think. I think Alf Ramsey said it after 1970 when they lost to Germany 3-2 in the second round. So I think with Germany, it's just whenever you think they're not ready, because you look at their squad and see, a bit like with Spain, a bit like with Italy, they're in like a transitional period. And that's why a lot of people have been saying that it'll be a South American team that will win, not just because of the weather, but because in Europe, there aren't really any countries that look really strong. Even France, they look like a bit of an aging squad. So it'll be an interesting one. But yeah, I think Germany, you can't write them off.
All right. Okay. Spain and Japan. Let's start with Japan. I mean, they're no mugs, are they?
They're no mugs. They've had a good record in World Cups. They got to the second round in 2002 when they were co-hosting with South Korea. They've had a lot of really good players over the years. I don't know much about this current squad, I have to admit. But again, technically they're going to be good, so they'll be difficult. But I'd imagine they'll probably finish third in that group behind Germany and Spain. All
right. I saw a fantastic RTP1 video today of Portugal's World Cup chances, and it was a song like Ronaldo is Portugal's, Fernando is Portugal's, Bacalhau is definitely Portugal's, Spain is not Portugal's. I've really got to find it so that we can play it during our coverage. That rivalry continues. Spain can be a bit patchy, can't they?
Yeah, they've got, I mean, whatever you think of Luis Enrique, who's their coach, he's a good coach. They've got a good team, good young team, and they're dangerous as well. Very, very dangerous side. So, let's see. Yeah. Spain are an interesting one. I think they'll do well, but I don't think they'll win it.
Okay, we're halfway through. We're into the last 16 pieces of paper that I'm folding up for the sweepstake. Paul is going to take the last 3 pieces of paper, should we not find anyone else who wants to do so. And Owen, do join us on the screen if you want to. You've got some great contributions tonight.
Please, you can help me out with some of these countries. I'm struggling.
I already put you on. In my opinion, if you've got nothing to say, you've got nothing to say. It's not a problem. But I just wanted to name check each team as we go through, so people get an idea of who they might pull out of the hat. In my opinion, Belgium have one of the world's best players, Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne? Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne plays for Manchester City. Yeah.
Fantastic. Kent's also here. Kent, you've been very generous too. Taken 3 picks from the sweepstakes, so thank you very much. And the Bombeiros are the fire service of Portugal. A lot are unpaid volunteers, and that's why Paul wants to support. Tunisia into Group D now.
Yeah, again, it's another Maghreb country in the north of Africa where, again, given the weather, I think it will favour them over European sides. But I couldn't name any Tunisian players, I don't think. So that probably says a lot.
Okay, all right. We'll fold that up and put Australia. Could you name an Australian player?
That's a good question. Can I name an Australian player? No. No.
I didn't think so. Okay, let's put them in as well. Denmark and France. I think you'll have something to say about.
Well, Denmark did really well in the Euros. They got to the semis against England. Yeah. Hey, good evening.
Talking of semis, he's here now. Just a football joke. It's a football joke. No, please. She's my glorious assistant, and she'll be doing the draw in a few minutes' time here. I'll bring them down to you, or you can pop back in. Time for a glass of wine, absolutely. Sorry, Mike, I interrupted you.
No worries. Denmark, Denmark are dangerous. They did really well in the Euros. They got to the semi-finals. England were quite lucky to get past them, in my opinion. Yeah. Great goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, who's Peter Schmeichel's son. Obviously, Eriksson, which is amazing to see because he had a heart attack in the last tournament he played in, which was the start of Euro 2020. Well, it became 21, and many thought he wouldn't play again. And he went to Bournemouth on loan, and then was signed by Manchester United. So Denmark is a wonderful story of just someone that has come back against all odds. So I think Denmark, there'll be a lot of neutrals wanting Denmark to do well because of that.
Okay, all right, and France.
France, I mean, probably Karim Benzema. If he's on form, he was voted the best player in the world this year in the Ballon d'Or. Won the Champions League with Real Madrid and the league earlier this year. Phenomenal striker. So I think he is their main man, but they've also got a lot of talented players throughout that squad and team. So very dangerous and clearly one of the favourites. So if you get France out of the sweepstake, I'd be happy. I think France, Brazil, Argentina are the main 3.
Yeah, okay, all right. I don't think, no disrespect, but Saudi Arabia aren't going to do very well in Group C, are they? Up against Argentina and Mexico and Poland.
Probably not, but I've got fond memories of Saudi Arabia. I remember they played Belgium in USA '94, and there was a very famous player called Said Awaran who ran the length of the pitch and scored a goal. It was unbelievable. It's one of the best goals you'll ever see. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. It's amazing. But yeah, they haven't got anyone like that in their current squad. So probably they're not going to do much.
Let's see. How do you think they'll do against Poland, for example?
Poland have got Lewandowski, so that could be 3 or 4-0 to Poland easily.
You're doing an amazing job, mate. What about Mexico?
What about Mexico?
Do call in if you want to, but on the phone, I think his reception's a bit poor. But give it a go. We'll see how it goes. If you crash the rest of the show by calling in, that might be a problem. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico have always been a good team in previous tournaments. They always do well. They typically get to the last stages. They often have very good players who play because the Mexican league is very strong in Central America. So a lot of players who aren't good enough to play in Europe that are South American players will often transition into the Mexican league before going into Europe. So the thing about Mexico, the good thing about watching Mexico is it reminds me a bit of back in the day when you'd see a World Cup and football wasn't yet this global sport. So there would be players that you would see in a World Cup that you hadn't heard of before. And that rarely happens these days because all the famous players we know, regardless of where they play, because they play in Europe. But with Mexico, you often get still the odd player that plays in the Mexican league that no one knows who's amazing.
Okay. So. That's Owen calling in. Let me just see what that's going to be like if we put him onto the call. Owen, I don't know if that's dropped the volume for everybody else. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing really well. Right. Hi, Michael.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
It's dropped Michael's volume. For those listening, is this bearable from your point of view? If us three have a 3-way conversation here, I know Michael will definitely want to talk about Argentina. So you got an allegiance with Argentina, haven't you, Michael?
Yeah, my mother's Argentine. And I think they're one of the clear favourites for sure. And
I'm not sure whether you can hear there, Carl. Maybe I'll drop out and see what I can do with my reception.
All right, mate. Okay, sorry we lost him there, but yes, okay. So a family connection to Argentina there for Michael, going into the pot now, and I mean they're strong contenders, aren't they, for the cup?
Massively strong contenders. Messi's last chance to win a World Cup. They've got a really strong squad.
Okay.
They qualified very well. They've been unbeaten, I think, in 30 games, something like that. So yeah, they're very, very strong.
Okay, wow. All right, that's interesting. So Ronaldo and Messi, arguably two of the world's greatest players ever. Last World Cups for both of them, possibly.
Last World Cups for both of them, and probably if you were to ask who the two best players are at this World Cup, you would probably say them, but not necessarily the two best players now in terms of form. And it's whether they can turn it on. But with Messi, the interesting thing is he didn't have a good season last season, but he's been playing really well for Argentina in the last few matches, and he's had a pretty good season this season at PSG. And I just get this feeling that he's starting to turn it on. And for him, his legacy as the world's best player matters, because unlike Maradona, he hasn't won anything significant with Argentina. He's won a Copa America, but he hasn't won the World Cup. And Maradona was a player that managed to drag the 86 team to win the World Cup, and also the Napoli team in the 80s that were near the bottom of Serie A when he joined them, and then they won Serie A and won the UEFA Cup. So Maradona has proven that he can drag a team to win major trophies, and it's whether Messi can do that as well and be the difference.
Interesting.
If he does that, he goes down as the greatest ever, in my opinion. But I don't think he will.
I remember I watched some of the Argentina matches with your mum. Didn't we?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, she loves it. She loves it.
into Group B then, where England are, which we of course have an allegiance to, as does Owen, who's going to comment from the sidelines. I'm using football analogies whenever I can, of course. And despite that sounding okay, it was a bit difficult for us, Nubionet, who says also, I don't think the weather will be an issue. It's 80s, 20s, and won't the stadium be air conditioned? So maybe that's going to be okay. We shall see.
That's the average weather. The thing is, it can often get up to 27, especially for some of the games at the time. So, and the stadiums aren't going to be air conditioned. That's a lie. That was what they were going to do when they were going to play in the summer, and it could have been 50 degrees centigrade. So let's see. Hopefully it won't be a problem.
Do you look, Gabby Roslin has joined us, the top football presenter. Wow. There we go. And I muted you there, Mrs. M, because you were snorting a bit into the microphone. Talking of Maradona, there was a bit of snorting going on into the microphone. You might want to move it a little bit away from your nasal passages. Sorry to give that production tip whilst we're live on air. Wales, Michael, in the group with England.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be looking at Gareth Bale, right? Everyone's going to be looking at Gareth Bale. He's actually had a really good season in the MLS. So Los Angeles won the MLS playoff. He scored the equalising goal that took them to penalties and extra time. So he's been on good form. So Wales are dangerous. Wales are very dangerous. That's the one team that I'm worried about in our group.
All right. USA then, not worried about them?
I mean, I have a little bit of a soft spot for them because one of their players, Josh Sargent, plays for Norwich City. I don't want England to lose to the US, but I'd quite like him to score a couple of goals to increase his transfer value.
All right. And Iran, also not too worried?
Absolutely no idea, mate. No idea. No idea.
We need Frank. Frank must have been keeping an eye on Iran. So England themselves then, number one in Group B, only because of the alphabetical order so far. What do you think?
No chance. No chance.
An Englishman saying no chance. Why?
I think we've got a lot of incredible young attacking talent in our squad. But I think Gareth Southgate is too conservative. So I think the system he played that got us so far in the 2018 World Cup, quite defensive, 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, suited us. Yeah. And it even suited us in the Euros last year. But I think for this World Cup, he should think about playing 2 at the back and 3 in midfield and 3 up front. And if he does that, I don't think he will, and picks the players I want him to pick, then maybe we've got a chance. But I don't think he will. I think he's going to go with his old, tested players that he's loyal to, not picking players that are on form. And I think that's what will ultimately cost us. And I think the squad he's picked isn't balanced enough. I don't like it. Too many attacking players in the same position. I understand why he's doing it, because for the first time you can have five substitutes as opposed to 3. So I'd imagine he's going to want to rotate a lot, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried.
Who doesn't like 2 up front and to rotate a lot first thing in the morning? Anyway, that's not the time to be talking about this. We're into the last 4 now. The Netherlands. Go on, Michael. Over to you.
Strong side, very strong side. Some very good young players. Probably one of the best defenders in the world. So, they're dangerous. They're very dangerous.
All right. And Senegal?
I really like Senegal, I really like Senegal. They've got Sadio Mane, who was at Liverpool, is now at Bayern Munich, who I think is an underrated quantity. I think he's incredible. And I think probably of all the African teams, Senegal are the strongest. They won the African Cup of Nations in January this year. So there would be my wild card.
Right.
So if I was to pick a wild card in this sweepstake, anyone gets Senegal, I'd be really interested to follow their progress.
Oh, that'll be good. Okay, excellent stuff. Ecuador and Qatar, we're nearly there, everybody. Ecuador?
Yeah, so Ecuador, they finished 4th in the group in South America. So they're one of the weaker teams from South America, but they're dangerous. And Qatar, we know very little about them. All the focus has been on Qatar as a country hosting the tournament, not as a team. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform. The Qataris aren't going to want to embarrass themselves. So they have been preparing the team. There's been rumours of, nationalities being bought for certain players who aren't Qatari from origin. So read into that what you will. I think there could be up to 8 or 9 who have been given a passport.
No way.
And they won the Under-19 Asia Cup. So they've had a young group of players coming through who are the best country in Asia. So who knows? Let's see. Be interesting to find out.
It certainly will. Now I have got all of the runners and riders, so to speak. We have the football teams are folded as you were talking through them. You did a cracking job there. Fantastic job, Michael. Thank you very much for going through the teams one by one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these down to Mrs. M now, while Mrs. M gives you her analysis of what's going to be happening in the World Cup and who her favourite teams are. Right? Go on, Mrs. M, over to you.
Oh, wow, it's so funny because I turned up and thought, what sporting event am I actually doing this for?
Amazing.
I had no idea. I was trying to watch Carl move, so I could see what was written behind him. And then I realised, yeah. And then I realised, oh, of course it's the World Cup, and of course it's later on in the year. And the last time the World Cup was on, you came over to our house and we watched a match together, didn't we?
We saw the Panama game together at your place, which was amazing. So
I can't remember what game it was, but
yeah, it was England. It was England Panama.
One second, sorry. What am I supposed to do? Okay, I'm getting directions from the director who's nipping back up the stairs. But I know that once I see everyone running around and kicking a ball, I get excited and start wanting to cheer everyone on.
You were pretty excited during that game when we watched it.
I was. I was. Yeah.
Definitely up for it.
I mean, I used to watch it a little bit as a teen. I'd go to the pub and watch all the matches and stuff. And when I was living in France, they loved football. I hosted. I was working in a bar, running a campsite, hosting the World Cup when France won, and that was that a massive celebration. It was really crazy. So I'll get into it. How are you feeling about it?
I'm good. But it's interesting. You were talking about your kind of getting into it as it starts, because I think I don't know if you feel the same way, but now I feel like as an expat, I kind of feel more patriotic about England because I'm not there, but then I have a disconnect as well. So I haven't felt like I've been part of the same kind of build-up that would probably be happening in England right now. So it's really nice to be doing this with you guys because it brings me sort of, a bit of nostalgia. But yeah, I mean,
bless you.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Fantastic. Okay, I can confirm that we now have, and sorry a bit late, back out onto the pitch. We're going into the second half now. We've sucked on the oranges, and we are now about to do the sweepstake draw, which I think is going to be a lot of fun now. Thank you, Paul. John Cunningham's come in with a second position in the sweepstake. So we do have our 32. Some people have doubled or trebled up. Thank you for doing that. And we're about to do that draw. And I will. I've got my spreadsheet here to do this live. It feels very official and excellent. No one needs change hands any money at the moment. This will be sent direct to the charity and to the winner of the sweepstake. Okay, that's how we're going to do this. All we needed tonight was a commitment. So on to your left hand, I think there's a 32 pieces of paper, Mrs. M, with the names mainly of gentlemen. And to your right is a bowl full of folded football teams and national football teams. And if you could take the first name on the pile to your left and tell us who that is.
John C.
So John C. we are starting with. And if you could draw a team for John C. I wish I had a drum roll. All I've got is a rim shot. That doesn't really work, does it?
That'll get annoying after a while, for sure. No,
it's not the same. 32 rim shots. No one deserves that. So what has John C. drawn? He has got 2 places. You might have to tell us. Can't read that. It's bleaching out.
Ecuador.
Yes, John. Wow. So first draw is Ecuador for John. He's going to have another go, but he's pulled Ecuador there.
And his second one is...
No. He's got another piece of paper. Whoa. Put that back and shuffle again.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. Fold the team back up and put it back in the bowl and draw the next person, because his second choice is coming on a separate piece of paper, as it will for other people. Okay?
It was on a separate piece of paper.
Did it say John 2?
No. This one said John C 2.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So John C2 is Ecuador. Yeah. That's his, and his team is Ecuador. So pull another piece of paper from your left. And who is that? She's doing well.
Jeff.
She's doing well. Jeff J. Okay, and Jeff J is, if you take
Jeff J.
Okay, Jeff J. What you got?
Germany.
Ooh,
oh, well done. Well done.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Jeff will be happy with that.
Who is the next person? And be careful. These pieces of paper, we're in damp conditions. The pieces of paper can stick together, so be very careful with that, Mrs. M. And if you wouldn't mind putting the piece of paper you've drawn with the football team, we can correlate later on as well. That would be fantastic.
Yes, I have done that. Carl H.
Okay, that is not me. That is Carl H. And his team, please.
Carl H. Is that the guy that looks like Zelensky?
That's right.
Yeah.
Which he seems to take fairly well when anyone mentions it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, he actually does look like
him.
Okay, Tunisia.
We've got 32 teams to get through here, you see.
The best thing about watching you two on screen is I can tell everyone that this is exactly how you interact when you're together, like socially. So you always have a suspicion when you see a couple that broadcast together, whether that's actually what they're like off screen. But I can say the certainty these two are being true to themselves, and it's amazing. I'm loving it.
Thank you. Right.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is Colin.
Is that Colin? No, he would say he knows nothing about football, but he's up for it for charity.
I'll give him Qatar then.
Please draw.
Ghana.
Ghana. Okay, he's a Ghana.
I've given him Ghana.
Right. Well done, Colin. He knows nothing about football. They're great, Colin. They're absolutely
fantastic.
Great. You're going to do brilliantly, mate. Okay.
Okay, Randy.
What? Randy.
He's got the USA.
Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
Randy has got the USA.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nicely enunciated. He's in for two as well. Quick sip of wine from the Gabby Rossman lookalike, who is Mrs. Munson.
Okay. No, I like that. Thank you very much. Anna T.
Anna Todd. Who is Anna T got?
Anna Todd.
Yeah, who she got?
Cameroon.
Oh, nice. Doesn't like a coconutty Cameroon every now and then. Okay, excellent stuff. Well done, Anna.
Next one is Mark.
Mark.
With an underline like a bit of underline underneath the C.
Yes,
just in case there's a Mark with a K. I don't know if that was specific.
It was. Thank you for noticing.
It says IR and then Iran.
That's because
Did you just make a spelling mistake?
No. IR Iran is how they're listed in the groupings. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
it is the independent Republic of Iran, I suspect. Go on.
Okie dokes. Okay. Okay. We've got some sticky papers here.
That's
Deagle.
Carl's, commitment to being.
Hold on, there's one. I think I might have left one out here. Hold on a minute. I found one on the table here. One of these pieces of paper. Potatoes.
Oh no, that means it's void. We have to start again. It's completely void.
It's okay.
I'm joking. Okay.
It's a shopping list.
Wow.
Sorry, that's amazing. Okay. Forgive me. Carry on, Mrs. M.
Potatoes.
Okay, Deagle has.
Yes.
Argentina.
He's got Argentina.
Wow.
He didn't want to have England, so well done. You haven't got England, you've got Argentina. So Deagle, that's pretty good, I think, for you. Come on, Mrs. M.
Okay.
When you are.
Hey, Eric, right now, and you've got the Netherlands.
Who was that? Eric J.
Are you hearing me? Okay.
No, that's why
we just missed the name. We just missed the name of the.
We missed the name.
Like you keep dropping out.
Yeah, we missed the name of the person who got the
Eric J. Netherlands.
Yes, got it. Well done, Eric
J.
Yes. Yes, all right. There's no need to make a big deal of it.
The Netherlands.
Michael's enjoying this.
This is brilliant.
The next one is my family.
Yeah, the Tanners. Okay, the Tanners.
Next one is the Tanners. So they've got Saudi Arabia.
Have they? Your dad will be pleased about that. Okay. Not. Okay. We're paying for their ticket anyway, so that's more for us. Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be about that. Okay, the next one is Lee Avralian.
Lee Avralian. I don't know. Yeah, go on.
Is it Aurelian or Avralian? I'm trying to read your handwriting.
I think it's Aurelian, like Marcus Aurelius. He's a Stoic.
Yes, a lovely name. It's a lovely name.
Yeah.
I do need to just double check. You haven't put in any kind of hoax names for me to read out and laugh at. Lee has got Switzerland.
Right. Like no prank names in this. It's too serious for that.
It's very neutral.
And we've got Kent too.
Kent too. Excellent. Kent too.
Is that Kent Albin who's watching?
It is absolutely. Kent, is it on the edge
just
of his seat?
Checking it wasn't. Ooh, okay. Kent has got Qatar.
Oh, never mind. I mean, excellent. Congratulations is what I meant to say there. Let's see.
Kent 3.
Yeah.
Out Uruguay.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Okay. These are all going into the spreadsheet on Google Docs, and they'll be shared later on with if everyone is part of this. I'm loving it, says Owen. But no, Andy's in. I've just popped in to say hi. Up the cherries. What? And Kent too is Kent's sister. Thank you very much, Kent's sister. She gets Uruguay. I'm making a note of these. Oh, thank you. We've got some independent adjudication as well, which is
absolutely
good.
We need that.
Excellent.
We definitely need that tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
She's like half a bottle in. If I'm going to be a resident, I need to be informed. Yes, stick around, Desert Dweller. We'll do our best to help you. I need to learn about this from the US. We are all behind in all things related to football. Soccer for us. We'll help you. Don't worry, Desert Dweller. It would be our pleasure. What is this? Sadio Mane is out.
Oh, that's the player for Senegal, I was saying. So yeah, my wild card prediction has just gone out the window now if he's not playing. So yeah. Okay. Don't think so much about Senegal anymore.
Oh dear. Okay. I have no wine, says Owen. You don't get that with FIFA, do you? People just randomly saying their drink status. Mrs. M, who's next?
Okay. The next pick is Ran for you. And he's got Croatia.
What? Is who?
Croatia.
Oh, who?
Hello.
Yeah, who
Randy.
is it?
You've written Randy W.
Yes, got it now.
What's difficult about that?
You're breaking up. No, she hears we're breaking up. No, we're breaking up. It's breaking up.
This is amazing.
Okay, the next one. The next one is Dave D.
Dave
D.
D
has got. He's got France.
He's also from America. He has France.
Good
Lucky
one,
man.
David,
Lucky
David
Yeah.
en France.
Forevermore.
David.
David,
This is gold.
Okay.
We might get the gig in 4 years' time, Mrs. M. This is going quite well, isn't it? Sorry, carry on.
Who knows? Yeah. I might know about football first. You might as well.
Could you imagine
Jeff
if you
J
both launched your
has
broadcasting career as a couple now, and then you ended up culminating and you draw in the FIFA World Cup for 2026? That'd be brilliant.
Wouldn't it be? And that'll be in America. That'll be in America, Canada, and
Mexico. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Hold on, she's got to have a drink.
I don't think it will happen.
Right,
Jeff J. Mexico.
Jeff J.
Yeah. Jeff J's got Mexico. Get in.
Please be careful with the cultural stereotyping. No, I noticed you there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Gaston,
our dear friend Gaston.
He has got Wales.
Has he? Don't worry, Gaston.
Gareth Bale will save you, mate. In fact, wouldn't Gareth be Gaston in Welsh? Maybe that might be the Welsh equivalent. So it could be written in the stars, Gaston. You never know.
And we have a picture of the Welsh Wag arriving in Doha. Actually, here they are. This is the wife.
Oh my God!
The wives of the Welsh football team arriving in Doha as we speak, arriving to a tea reception. Gaston, you're in good company.
Okay. This next name is a very special name. It's Michael H.
Oh
yes. Who now? This does
not England. Not England.
Come on!
Don't draw England.
Ooh.
Who's he got?
Don't know if you're going to see this.
Does it say potatoes on it again?
What's it? Costa Rica.
Oh no,
Michael, your idea of sweepstake. How's that feel?
Sorry about that.
Gutting. I mean, I can't believe this is. Well, this shows it's credible because if I draw an Argentina or England, then no one would have believed this was real.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it had to be.
Exactly. Okay,
we've got
Francis.
Yeah,
we've got Francis SA.
Yes.
He's got Brazil.
He'll be pleased about that. Fantastic. Well done, Brazil. Okay. Nice one, Francis. He'll
be delighted with that. Yeah.
The next one is Paul R.
Yep. The first one of Paul's. He has three in
Serbia.
The game, yeah. Well done, Paul.
Serbia.
No harm in that. Yep.
Well done, Paul. Yeah. Definitely got a winner there, mate.
Okay. These are very sticky. Lee McGee.
Lee McGee. Yes.
He's going to get England, isn't he?
England, isn't he?
Feel it.
Come on, England.
I can feel it.
Come on, Lee. Yeah. Who is it?
Denmark.
Is it England?
Oh.
Denmark.
Yeah, I wonder. He'll have something. He'll have some connection with Denmark. He's always got a good little connection.
Probably Carlsberg.
That's it. Yes. Exactly. Spot on.
Okay, I've got another one for Carl H.
Yes.
Japan.
Oh, nice. Yep. So in the Japanese eye of the storm, World Cup wise, so he has Japan in his household, and he also has Tunisia.
Wow, I bet he's glad he doubled down. I bet he's delighted. He doubled down. Did we get the money? Did we get the money before the draw? Because some people be like,
I'm thinking that. We should have got the money before.
We should have got the money first, mate. Should have got the money. The poor Bombados.
Remember this for next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, guys.
Okay, the next one is Phil C. And he's got Canada.
Big Phil's got Canada.
Wow.
He's a rugby guy. He won't know what that means. It's all good, Phil. Actually, no, he does know a thing.
Phil, it's the equivalent of rugby of drawing Portugal or Italy.
Well, they just qualified. Portugal qualified for the World Cup.
They're not going to do well.
Right. Okay, Phil, take the notice.
Okay, we've got Mark again, who has picked Poland.
Poland. You've picked Poland for him. Your lucky charm.
Okay,
that's not
I
so
picked
bad.
Poland.
Yeah. Okay. England yet to
Kent.
show. Yeah.
Okay, Kent.
This is exciting.
Has got England.
Has he got it? Wow, that's nice. And that
Sorry, Ken.
Matt B. So Kent 3 is Matt P, and it rhymes, and that's going to be interesting when you tell Matt P.
But that was Kent. That was Kent on his own, not Kent.
Yeah,
3.
Fair
that
enough.
Was Kent.
Yeah. All
okay.
Right.
Owen. Let's see what Owen's got.
Owen Lloyd Martin is going to draw
Spain.
It's not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Portugal haven't shown up yet. I wonder if I'm going to get Portugal.
I mean, that would be very fitting, wouldn't it?
I would love that, but and I've got a chance because I haven't been drawn yet. We still have Katia.
What teams are left? Do you know what teams are left? We're not that organised, are we?
No, we're not that organised. Sorry to point it out.
Definitely not organised.
Okay. Who have we got? Is it Katia? Because I've got a list of the list of names. I think we're probably in Katia territory now.
Did I say the next name?
No, I'm just.
Did I actually say the next name? It is actually Katia.
Yeah, no, I had a list of names as they came in, but we're drawing the team for her randomly. I should point out. So Katia, is she going to get Portugal? That would be amazing if she does. Again, she's another person who said, "I don't really like football. I don't know what this is about, but I'm very happy to take part." And I think it was the charity element. What is she going to get?
She's got Senegal.
She has got Senegal, but the man who Michael thought might make the difference is not playing.
Still a good team, though. It's not a bad one. I mean, it's better than a lot of them. To be honest.
All right. So there are five more.
5 left.
Yes, and
the next name pulled is John Cunningham.
Oh, okay. Yes,
and he has got Belgium.
Ooh,
okay,
that's a good one.
I don't think he's going to be too unhappy about that.
That's a good one.
Good evening to you, Frank. Frank has joined, we've just seen John Cunningham. You might want to send him a message, Frank. He has pulled Belgium from the sweepstake.
Love. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 countries left, and 3 people left.
Well, that's
did you
because
put your own name in?
I probably didn't. So I'm going to be taking the last team, I think. As I have it, we have Eusebio. We have 2 more for Paul, and I think we have me as well. So we've got 4 people.
Okay. So we've got Paul, number 2. Paul 2.
Paul's number 2.
Paul 2 has got...
Who's he got? What?
Australia.
Why
because I couldn't read it. Because it looked like he'd written Austria and then Australia underneath.
I wrote it twice. Yeah, I wrote it twice thinking we might find ourselves in this situation. Yes. Okay. So Australia.
So Paul number 2 has got Australia.
Okay. And 3 more picks to go then.
Paul 3 has...
I wonder.
Got Morocco.
And we're down to Portugal.
Munson's going to get Portugal. I don't believe the tension is killing me now. This is so exciting.
I'm loving this. And Eusebio is the other man.
Wow. No.
Eusebio would be delighted to get Portugal.
Yeah. Well, Eusebio's name isn't here. The name I've got is Carl Munson or Carl M, which I'm guessing is you.
So we didn't get Eusebio. So I think Michael, bit of independent adjudication here. My name isn't Eusebio's name isn't. I think he should go next, shouldn't he?
Yeah, you go last.
I'll go last.
Okay. So I'm going to write Eusebio on here. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, please do. That seems only fair. But he has his own piece of paper.
This is why we won't be doing it in 4 years' time.
It is. No, we've got a long time to train. We've got a long time to train. I mean, we'd have people doing this for us. She's rummaging. Look at her face. She's rummaging deep into the bowl. What's he got? What has he got?
He's got Korea. He has got Korean Republic.
Oh my God! I don't believe it.
I'm so sorry, Eusebio. I have got Portugal.
That's so weird, and it's weird because I was gonna make Eusebio go last, and then at the last minute I decided you were gonna go last.
And he made that decision. It wasn't me. Eusebio. What a gutting situation for you potentially, unless you have a relationship with Korea in some way. There we go. It's the only sound effect I've got.
Wow.
What are the odds of that happening? Huh?
going down to me being the last person
I've
and drawing
no
I am
idea.
delighted. I am delighted. But it's mixed feelings, isn't it? Because you said before that Portugal probably won't win. So, I mean, if we're looking to the people who may win...
but mate, now when you talk to anyone Portuguese, you can say, I got Portugal in the sweepstake.
All right.
So you've already got, and you live here, so you've got a connection, mate. So Portuguese people are superstitious. They'll be like, oh yes, this is a good sign, Mr. Munter. And imagine if then Portugal actually win it, like how excited you'll be.
But I'm thinking, poor old Eusebio, he's not going to have the same thing unless he goes to Korea on holiday. He's half Portuguese, mate. I'm so sorry. It came down to that wire, and I got Portugal and you got Korea. Owen, Juan Carl, says Owen, and this has been so comical. Best. We didn't mean it to be. I thought it was going to be really serious, and I was going to wear a dinner jacket. Mrs. M was going to wear a ball gown. Anyway, Carl, any chance of a swap? No, it does not work like that. But it looks like the Bomberos are going to benefit one way or another. Only at least 160 euros for the Bomberos or a charity.
So make sure you pay up. If you join a shit country like me, make sure you pay up anyway.
Yes, I think we should be collecting that money quite soon,
shouldn't
rather than the day after the World Cup final when everyone's lost their big state of arousal, as it were. Michael, thank you so much for being here. Mrs. M, thank you for being here. It's 10 o'clock. I mean, we should be considered with these production values that finishing at 10 o'clock. But you may have a couple of things to say as a result of what's come up during this evening, Michael. Or should we leave it there?
I just enjoyed the dynamic of the two of you on screen. I think this should happen more often. I think it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
And Kent thinks that if I win, I owe Eusebio a night of Korean barbecue. Okay,
that sounds great.
Because that'll be a really random show as well, won't it? We could do a live stream of me and Eusebio at a Korean barbecue. That'll be cool. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm up for that. So it will be with mixed feelings that if Portugal win for me, because then I'm going to have to be looking through, Googling Korean barbecues, probably in Lisbon. We'll see how that goes. I'm up for it, though, definitely, Eusebio. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. And the crowd has swollen as we've gone through tonight. We've got a few folks watching. Do you have anything else to say, folks who are watching? What we Europeans have been doing for the past 3,000 years? Oh, Frank is on this happy note at the end of the sweepstake. Frank is drawing us back into the World Cup controversy. What we Europeans have been doing for the past 3,000 years, we should stop. We should be apologizing for the next 3,000 years before we start giving moral lessons to people. So I think Frank enjoying that Gianni Infantino speech earlier on. Mrs. M, you won't be aware of this, but he said he was a redhead growing up in Italy, which helped him to understand the struggle of gay people, of people killed in construction work and so on. I don't know if you would have a view on that.
Who said that?
Look at Michael's face. He's thinking this. I don't know if I should be here. This is super awkward for me right now. If I was Michael's mind,
said that? Gianni
Infantino. Anyway, roll the credits. This was fun.
What? When I was working in London, I walked. I had this Canadian colleague who was a beautiful redhead, and we were walking down like one of the streets around Shoreditch, and we're just walking down the road on our lunch break, just chatting, and all of a sudden this car hits us, and the window went down, and two guys just yelled out, "Hey, Ginger!" Like Minge, Ginger Minge times 2, and then they laughed, put their window up, and drove off. And she was so shocked. She was so shocked. Yeah. I said, "Oh my God, that's awful." And she said, "Why did that happen? It doesn't happen in Canada, apparently. Apparently, in Canada, there's nothing unusual about being redhead. It's not seen as
just in the UK. It's just in the UK.
This is where Michael started.
It's just in.
Yeah, Michael was saying this. So I suppose as we look forward to the enjoyment of the World Cup, and which is surrounded, let's face it, by controversy. There's no avoiding that. We can have our minds in two places, can't we? The struggle of people, as well as the joy of football as well. It doesn't have to be either or.
Let's remember all those ginger people have to go around their everyday lives. Especially ginger men. I feel like ginger women, don't struggle as much as a ginger man. I think ginger men get it harder.
You know what? Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we have to end it there.
This has been amazing. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Bye for now. Great job, Mrs.